Hello guys, Rachel here of Archaeologist Gaming. Today, we're going to do a short unboxing and also reviewing the DeepCool CH510 Mesh Digital Chassis. Let's do the unboxing. Inside the box, you will find the DeepCool CH510 Mesh Digital case itself, the user's manual, some screws and cable ties. Let's go to the specifications and features. The DeepCool CH510 Mesh Digital has dimensions of 455 by 230 by 470 mm with a weight of 7.5 kg. The DeepCool CH510 Mesh Digital is a standard made Tower ATX case. It uses a 4mm tempered glass, which is a fingerprint magnet. To remove the tempered glass, you just need to pull it out towards you as there are no screws used. The tempered glass uses magnets to stay in place. Additionally, it can be locked and secured by inserting a screw in this dedicated screw mount. You can put from an ITX to eATX motherboard here. A maximum of 175mm in height for a CPU air cooler is supported by this chassis. For your graphics card, you can put up to a length of 380mm inside the chassis, as long as you don't have a radiator installed at the front. There are two rubber grommets on the motherboard side to cover your cables, but on the PC shroud, there are none. It will be better if there is, to have a nice and clean look. The chassis, also the same as the other new DeepCool series of chassis, includes a GPU holder for beefy GPUs that need support. At the rear, there's an included DeepCool DF120 fan, and that's the only fan included to this chassis. But you can put up to 140 mils fan here. At the PSU shroud, you can put 220 mils fans. DeepCool really made this chassis with airflow in mind. At the front, you can put up to 360 mils radiator or up to 320 mils fans. At the top, same as the front, you can support up to 360 mils radiator or up to 320 mils fans. The front panel is mostly mesh, with small square cutouts. The top part of the panel is where you can find the LCD. The LCD has dimensions of 38 by 38mm, which I think is enough to display your temps. Around it is made of acrylic, which is again a fingerprint magnet. To pull out the front panel, you just need to pull it from the bottom and it will pop out. Once removed, you can find a magnetic dust filter that covers the maximum fans it can support. This chassis has 7 expansion slots. Each of the cover are modular, which means can be removed and back in place. Vertical mounting is also possible. For the back panel, it still uses the same old style, using 2-hand screws to hold it in place. To remove it, you just need to untighten the screws and slide it out. But before we see what's inside, let's see the bottom side of the panel, which has a cutouts for ventilation with square pattern. Again, DeepCool made this chassis with airflow in mind. This also has magnetic dust filters. The back panel where the cable management happens is simple and straightforward. The back side of the motherboard tray can support two 2.5-inch SSDs. For additional storage, there is an HDD or SSD cage included. It can hold two 3.5-inch HDD or a single HDD and SSD. The cage is also movable and removable, just in case you need to adjust something. For the power supply, the chassis supports up to a maximum length of 170mm. The space between the motherboard tray and the back panel is 20mm, which I guess is enough for cable management. There's no cable pathway dedicated for your cables, but there are cable tie holes for cable management. Below, where you can put your power supply, there's a cutout with a dust filter. Sadly, it's not magnetized. At the top, it includes a magnetic dust filter. You can also see the DeepCool logo here. For the front I/O, you will find the reset button, a USB 3.0 Type-A port, a mic and audio combo jack, a USB Type-C port, and lastly, the power button. Let's assemble a PC. As I will use this chassis as my test bench PC, this will be my components. An ASRock C690 Taichi motherboard, an Intel i5-13600KF processor, Thermaltake TOUGHRAM XG-D5 RGB, a PowerColor Hellhound RX 6650 XT graphics card, and Noiseblocker NVMe loop fans. control the display, it uses a software to show the DeepCool logo, the load, and the temperatures. Sadly, it doesn't determine without using the software of what temp is shown. The software for this digital mesh is also not refined and needs improvements. Here are my final thoughts. The DeepCool CH510 Mesh Digital is a decent chassis. It has a lot of space to work on, especially I have big hands. Based on the benchmark, the temperature is also quite good both in idle and loaded temps. Cable management is also good for this chassis, as I don't have any problems while installing the components and routing the cables for this chassis. What I don't like about this chassis is that there is only a single fan included. For me, at least 3 fans will make the value of the chassis even better. Another thing is that the position of the fan at the topmost part is partially blocked by the display, so it will block the air going in. Also, you cannot do an alternating display of the temps of the CPU and GPU, and the display has a bit of backlight bleed and not completely black, which I think this is what people trying to sell to the consumers, which is the display of the chassis. Overall, it's still worth the price as it has lots of good takes than bad. I can still recommend buying this one. DeepCool are trying to move to more innovative stuffs for the future and the delight of the consumers. You can buy the DeepCool CH510 Mesh Digital Chassis for around the price of 5,250 pesos at your nearest DeepCool affiliated online or physical stores. I hope this video is informational for you. For more videos, click on the subscribe button and follow my Facebook page. And see you in the next video.